This video will be covering how stats work in Dark and Darker. All of this information is very important so you can optimize your build to your playstyle and make more informed decisions when purchasing gear from the market. You can find all of the information that I'm covering in this video at spellsandguns.com. They have a Dark and Darker wiki. They also have interactive maps here, which I think is really good for any player. But if you scroll down here, here's your stats, and this will cover all of the information. Even though the site is frequently updated, there is sometimes misinformation, so feel free to add any additional information or constructive criticism in the comments. Your main stats are strength, vigor, agility, dexterity, will, knowledge, and resourcefulness. Allocating points into these will affect the substats that are designated to them. Each stat has its own curve with soft caps, so there are diminishing returns for putting too many points into any particular stats, and you can find graphs on each stat curve at the Dark and Darker wiki. For example, Rogue starts with 9 strength base kit, which puts their physical power bonus at negative 14%. The first 2 strength rings I put on give me plus 3% physical power bonus each, putting me at negative 8%. The gloves give me plus 4 strength at 2% bonus each, putting me at 0. Then I have another soft cap, and every point of strength added from 15 to 50 will give me 1% bonus each. First, we have strength. Strength governs your physical power. Physical power bonus governs the potency of your physical damage dealing weapons, utility items, and abilities. There's a 0.25% scaling on strength for max health, so it takes 4 strength to gain 1 point of health. Vigor governs your max health and health recovery. Health recovery affects the rate at which you restore health when resting. Agility governs your movement speed. Every 1 point in movement speed will give you 0.3% move speed, so 1% move speed is equal to 3 movement speed. Walking backwards, crouching, and walking negatively affect your movement speed. Dexterity and agility both govern your action speed, with dexterity being more weighted. Action speed governs the speed in which you interact with your weapons, meaning stowing, swapping, reloading, or attacking with them, as well as the speed of usage of consumables such as ales, potions, bandages, lockpicks, and surgical kits. Agility and resourcefulness contribute to regular interaction speed. Regular interaction speed governs the speed at which you interact with objects in the dungeon, such as doors, chests, or activating levers. Dexterity exclusively governs your manual dexterity. Manual dexterity determines how quickly Bard plays his instruments. Will governs your magical power bonus, magical resistance, buff duration, debuff duration, and magical interaction speed. Magical power, also known as magical damage bonus, contribute to the potency of your magical spells and magical healing. It's important to note that magical damage bonus affects healing too. Buff duration governs the duration of temporarily beneficial status effects. Debuff duration governs the duration of temporary negative status effects. A negative debuff duration is beneficial to have, as it will shorten the duration of debuffs. A positive debuff duration stat means debuffs last longer, which is detrimental to the player. Debuffs include Goblin Poison, Ranger Traps, Wizard Slows, Warlock Curses, and many more. Magical interaction speed affects the speed in which the player interacts with magical objects, such as shrines and portals. Knowledge governs spellcast speed, memory capacity, and memory recovery. Spell cast speed governs the speed at which you cast magical spells. Memory capacity governs your spell and song cost cap. Spells and songs that exceed your current capacity will not be usable. Memory recovery increases the amount of spell recovery you restore per tick while resting. Resourcefulness governs regular interaction speed, cooldown reduction, and persuasiveness. Cooldown reduction reduces the cooldowns of perks and skills. Note that perk cooldowns are in the form of debuffs and are affected by debuff duration. Persuasiveness determines the duration of bard songs, buffs, and debuffs. Now that you know more about how these stats work, good luck building your kits and keep those soft caps in mind.